Hello everyone, it's Miss Huang. As you all know, you are supposed to complete trigonometry for your holiday homework. And so I've received a request to review the last question of the Trigo notes because there are no answers given. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. So this is the last page of the trigonometry notes, question 2. Okay. For this first one, they ask you to find the angle x, right? To do that, I'm gonna need to draw a right angle triangle so that I can apply my trigo on, okay? And then what you realize is that because this length here is 5.8, okay, and then to complete it, this one is 10, right? So this one is 10 minus 5.8, which would be 3.2, okay? So knowing that this length and this length are given, I can actually find x, the angle now, because the length ratio of A and H, right? So cosine of x, okay, equals to the length ratio 3.2 over 12. Okay, and then that would be x equals to cosine inverse 3.2 over 12, which is 74.53, okay, degrees to 4 SF, because the question asks to put it in 4 SF, if I'm not wrong. Yes, okay. So I now need to find what is y, okay. For y, maybe let me use a different color. Black, okay. Okay, for y, we are looking at finding this length in the right angle triangle. So I can take maybe sine of x, which is 74.53 degrees, equals to the length ratio. So the length ratio will be opposite, right? Opposite and hypotenuse. So that would be y over 12, okay? So sine of the angle equals to y over 12. So y equals to 12 times sine 74.53 degrees, which is 11.57. Okay, yeah, 11.57, and that is your answer for part A. Okay, let's move on to part B. Okay, for part B, we are looking at two triangles within and one small triangle within the bigger triangle. Okay, for part B, let us take a look at maybe x first. Okay, so if you see x, right, x is with the opposite 8.4 and the hypotenuse 18.3. okay, so knowing that, I can say that sine x equals to 8.4 over 18.3, which means that x equals to sine inverse of 8.4 over 18.3. okay, that would mean okay, x equals to 27.32 to 4 SF, okay, degrees. Okay, now I'm looking at y. Okay, when we look at y, maybe we might want to think about this whole length instead. Okay, so given a and h, okay, I can say that cosine of x, which is cosine of 27.32 degrees, equals to a, the big A, over 18.3. okay, so that will mean that a equals to 18.3 times cosine 27.32 degrees. Okay, that will give me a equals to 16.2 6, okay, which means that y equals to 16.26 minus, oh, oops, I need to minus off this small length here, which I also need to find. Okay, so that small length would be, looking at this, it will be sine, no, not sine. That would be tangent 50 degrees equals to 8.4 over the length, let's call it L. Okay, so L equals to 8.4 divided by tangent 50, which is 7.05. Okay, so L is 7.05. Okay, and so my final answer is 16.26 minus 7.05, 9.21. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to part C. In part C, we are looking again at the same kind of question where there are two triangles within each other. Okay, so let's start with x again. Okay, so again, opposite, which is 5.2 is my opposite, and then I have my hypotenuse. Sine x equals to 5.2 over 11.3. X equals to sine inverse 5.2 over 11.3, which is 27.39. Okay, 39, so that would be 40, okay, degrees. And so if we are talking about y, y would actually be the length which I need to find, again, the smaller length over here. So now we have learned from the previous question, right? Okay, but not much is given except for the fact that 7.4 is the diagonal. So using by Pythagoras theorem, then 7.4 square equals to 5.2 square, let's call this L again, plus L squared. So L equals to square root of 7.4 square minus 5.2 square, okay, which is 5.265, okay, to 4 SF. Okay, so given that, I can actually find y by finding the long length, okay, the long length in red. Okay, that would be, let's use Pythagoras also. So by Pythagoras, 11.3 square equals to 5.2 square plus question mark square. Okay, so question mark equals to square root of 11.3 square minus 5.2 square, which is 10.03. Okay, so y equals to 10.03 minus 5.265, which is 4.767 to 4 SF. Okay, yeah, so that would be my answer for y. Okay, for z is to find the angle. Okay, to find the angle, I would first need two lengths, which is, one is the question mark length and the other is the hypotenuse. So I have O and I have H. So that would be sine, right? So sine of, okay, let's call this theta. Let's call this theta. So sine theta equals to, what's O? O is 10.03 over 11.3. So theta equals to sine inverse 10.03. And 11 divided by 11.3, which is 62.57 degrees. Okay, so if I were to find Z, I would need to no, this one is no, this is not theta. Theta is the bigger one. Theta is this big one. Okay, so now I need to find the smaller one, which I will call alpha. Okay, so we can use the same method. Sine alpha equals to length ratio of 5.265 over 7.4. So alpha equals to sine inverse of 5.265 over 7.4, which is 45.36 degrees. Okay, so to conclude this part, the value of Z is equals to 62.57 minus 45.36. Okay, so that is 17.21 degrees. Yep. Okay, I will continue in a second video.